Hello everyone, how is it going? This is the Video Gamer 64 and Mr. Arcade Retro Gamer 64 here. And today I am going to be talking about some of my favorite vinyl records that I own in my collection. And I'm also going to be talking about my week on Vlare. And I doubt this video is going to be on VidBit, but if it's less than 10 minutes long, I will add it on there. Guys, I want to say my week with Vlare is a wonderful and a great site. In my opinion, it is hands down. That and Vidly are my two favorite websites in 2019. Yeah, I know Vidly is older than like a year old. Is older than a year old, I mean. And yeah. But anyway, I have to say that Vidly and Vlare are my two favorite websites in 2019 and possibly of all time. I think they are some of the greatest sites ever. You got some of my good friends on. I got some of my good friends on there on Vidlare and Vidly. Everybody is friendly on Vidlare, or not Vidlare, but Vlare. And yeah. And some of the videos I've seen on there is great videos. I love watching the videos and stuff. It's pretty interesting to watch. And yeah. And I highly recommend everybody joining Vlare. And anybody that has not joined Vidly or Vlare, I highly recommend all of you to join those sites. They are truly a fun and wonderful sites, and they are a wonderful experience. And I hope all of you will join that site. And now, since I said that, I am going to be showing all the vinyls that I think some of the best vinyls that I own in my collection. These are not in particular order of what's my favorite and not my favorite. Well, obviously they're all my favorites, duh. And yeah. But these are all my favorite records that I own in my vinyl record collection. So anyways, guys, let's get started. First one I have is Roy Orbison's Greatest Hits. Right here. It says, Only the Lonely, Evergreen, Crying, Uptown Running Scared, Love Star, Dream Baby, The Crowd, Blue Angel, Candyman, I'm Hurtin', and Mama. These are, like, to me, some of the greatest songs of all time. The only song I wish that was on here is Pretty Woman. And that's because Roy Orbison's Pretty Woman song is, in my opinion, one of my favorites, and it's one of the greatest hits of all time. And I only got this for 95 cents. I couldn't believe it when I seen it at that thing I got. It said 95 cents. Let me zoom in. Oh, shit, I keep aiming it wrong. But y'all can see right up in here, over here. Hold on. Right there, 95 cents. I got that as secondhand chows. And in my opinion, it's one of the greatest records that I own in my collection. And if any of you haven't noticed, I got new glasses yesterday. And I really love these glasses. The other ones had little scratches and stuff, but that's okay because I got new pairs of glasses now. Anyways, guys, let's. Oh my God, my hair's sticking up. I just noticed that. Anyway, the next one I'm holding is Blast from Your Past, Ringo Starr. And if any of you don't know who Ringo Starr is, which I bet many of y'all know who he is, but if any of you don't, he was the drummer of the Beatles. And on side 1 it says You're 16. Number 2 is No No Song, It Don't Come Easy, Photograph, and Back Off Boogaloo. Side 2, Only You and You Alone, Bean Coops of Blues, All My, Early 1970, and I'm the Greatest. And I love the way it looks on the back too, front and back. It looks so awesome. It looks 3D-ish. Next we got the first album, I believe, of The Doors. I love the Doors. Right here. Side 1 is Break On Through to the Other Side, Soul Kitchen, The Crystal Ship, which is a great song. You got 20th Century Fox, Alabama Song, Whiskey Bar, Light My Fire. Side 2, you got Backdoor Man, I Look At You. End of the Night, Take It As It Comes. And number 5, The End. And to me, The Doors is one of the greatest bands of all time. Definitely one of the greatest of the 60s and 70s. I highly recommend all of you to check out their music if you haven't. Next, we got the Eagles. This was my cousin James's records. This was my cousin James's record. Rest in peace, James. And this is the Eagles right here. And you got some of their greatest songs on here, like Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Most of Us. And then you got Peaceful, Easy Feeling, and other songs on here. This is a great album. Next, we got another Roy Orbison album I got for 95 cents. It says, There is Only One Roy Orbison. Ain't that the truth? Side 1 is Right Away. Number 2, that was number 1 on side 1. Number 2 is You Fool You. 3, Two of a Kind. 4, This Is Your Song. 5, I'm in a blue, blue mood. 6, If You Can't Say Nothing Nice. Side 2 is Claudette. Number 2 is Afraid to Sleep. 3, Sugar and Honey. 4, Summer Love. 5, Big as Dream as I Can. Big as I Can Dream. 6, Wondering. And I love this picture in the back of him riding a motorcycle. I think that is so cool. Next, we have Simon and Garfunkel's Greatest Hits. Now, many of you have heard of some of their songs, at least one song. Side 1 is Mrs. Robertson for Emily Whoever. Hold on, let me start over. Mrs. Robertson for Emily Whenever I May Find Her. The Boxer, the 59th Street Bridge song. The Sound of Silence. The one that starts off with Hello Darkness, my old friend. Anyway, I Am a Rock, and Scarborough Fair, Cantasil. Side 2, Homeward Bound, Bridge Over Troubled Water, America, Kathy's Song, El Condor Pasa, Bookends, and Cecilia. Now that's pretty cool. And on the back it looks like this. Next, we have one of my favorite movies of the 1970s, and I got the soundtrack of it. And it's the original movie soundtrack, Saturday Night Fever, with John Travolta. And you got Staying Alive by the Bee Gees, How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees, If I Can't Have You by Yvonne Elliman, A Fifth of Beethoven by Walter Murphy, Jive Talkin' by Bee Gees, Key G by MFSB, Callisto Breakdown by Ralph McDonald. Then you got More Than a Woman by Tavares, Night Fever by the Bee Gees, Boogie Shoes by Casey and the Sunshine Band, Disco Inferno by the Tramps, You Should Be Dancing by the Bee Gees, Open Sesame by Kool and the Gang, More Than a Woman by Bee Gees, Manhattan Skyline, Night on Disco Mountain, and Salvation by Dave Shear. And that record I just showed y'all comes with 4 records in one sleeve. And it's so awesome to hear them. I think it's 4 records, or maybe 3, I'm not for sure. But I haven't listened to that record, to them in a while. But I love Saturday Night Fever. I love the Bee Gees. I love all the songs on this record, so I knew I had to get it. I think I got it for $3 at the flea market a long time ago. Next, we got Eric Clapton's Slow Hand, an iconic album. You got Side 1, Cocaine, Wonderful Tonight, Lay Down Sally, Next Time You See Her, We're All the Way. Side 2, The Core, May You Never, Mean Old Frisco, 4, Peaches and Diesel, and that's all the songs on here. This was released in the year of 1977. That was a great year, obviously, because Star Wars came out and all of that good stuff, you know. Next, we got one of my favorite 60s bands of all time. Definitely my top 5 favorite American bands of all time. The best of the Beach Boys. You got side 1, Surfing USA, Catch a Wave, Surfer Girl, Little Deuce Scoop, In My Room, Little Honda. And then on side 2 is Fun, 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 Warmth of the Sun, Louie Louie, Kiss Me Baby. It says, You're So Good to Me, and Wendy. Great album. I mean, a freaking great album. Next, we got another album. I believe this was my grandma's. My Aunt Brenda gave it to me years ago. I mean, not years ago. Why do I say years ago? I mean, a year ago, last summer, so less than a year ago. And it's Fast Domino. It says titles: Blueberry Hill, Honey Chili, What's the Reason I'm Not Pleasing You, Blue Monday, So Long, La La, Troubles of My Own, You Done Me Wrong, Reelin' and Rockin', The Fat Man's Hop, Poor, Poor Me, Trust in Me. That's some of his greatest songs, especially Blueberry Hill. That's what it looks like on the back, and I guess that's tape on top. It feels like tape, but kind of it feels like feather. I don't know why. Oh my god, I just realized this video is over 10 minutes long. So obviously this is not going to be on VidBit. Anyway, next we have the Beach Boys Forever. We have Surfing USA, Surfer Girl, Be True to Your School, Fun, 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 When I Grow Up to Be a Man, Help Me Rhonda, Barbaran, God Only Knows, Heroes and Villains on side 1. Side 2 is Surfing Safari, Little Deuce Scoop, In My Room, Don't Worry Baby, I Get Around, California Girls, Sloop John B, Wouldn't It Be Nice, and Good Vibrations. I love every single one of their songs on this album too, and this is one of their best albums of all time. Next, I got this record for $5 at second-hand Charles. It's Roy Orbison's For the Lonely, a Roy Orbison anthology from 1956 to 1965. And this has 4 sides, so it's 2 records. Side 1 is Ooby Dooby, Go Go Go, Rock House, Double Doll, Uptown, I'm Hurtin'. Side 2 is Only the Lonely, Know How I Feel, Blue Angel, Crying, Candyman, The Crowd, Dream Baby, How Long Must I Dream. Side 3, Running Scared, Leia, Work It for the Man, In Dreams, Fallen, Mean Woman Blues. Side 4 is Oh Pretty Woman, Blue Bayou, Pretty Paper, It's Over, Say You're My Girl, and Good Night. It says. So I love this album. It's very good. Next we have the Eagles, Greatest Hits. It says Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Lion Eyes, Already Gone, Desperado, One of These Nights, Tequila Sunrise, Take It to the Limit, which is one of my all-time favorite Eagles songs, Peaceful, Easy Feeling, and Best of My Love. And that's what it looks like on the back. So yeah. Next we have a valuable record in my collection. It's one of my favorites because he's one of my favorite guitarists of all time. Definitely one of the greatest guitarists of all time. That's Jimi Hendrix, Reprise Records radio station service. And then on the back it looks like this. Side 1 is Dolly Dagger, Earth Blues, Polygap, Room Full of Mirrors, Star Spangled Banner. And side 2 is Look Over Yonder, Hear My Train A-Comin', Hey Baby, New Rising Sun. That's a record my cousin James, my aunt, well, when my cousin died, my aunt Beverly gave me her son's records. And I mean some of his records, and that was one of them, Jimi Hendrix. Next we have Rock 80. Now this is a great album. Because it has various artists from the 80s and from the 80s and early 70s, but this is Rock 80. So this is going to be 80 songs. Get Cars by Gary Newman, Brass and Pocket by the Pretenders, Driver's Seat by Sniff and the Tears, Cruel to Be Kind by Nick Lowe, Is She Really Going Out With Him by Joe Jackson, Heartbreaker by Pat Benatar, Call Me by Blondie, Do You Remember Rock and Roll Radio by the Ramones, My Sharona by The Knack, I Want You to Want Me by Cheap Trick, Hold On by E.M. Gome, One Way or Another by Blondie, We Live for Love by Pat Benatar, and Pop Music by M. Next we have Creedence Clearwater Revival, More Creedence Gold. And on side 1 it says, Hey Tonight, Run Through the Jungle, Fortunate Son, Bootleg, Looking Out My Back Door, Lena, Who'll Stop the Rain. Side 2 is Sweet Hitchhiker, Good Golly Miss Molly, I Put a Spell on You, Don't Look Now, It Ain't You or Me, Lodi, Portalville, and Up Around the Bend. Now this is a great album. I love this album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. Next we have My World by Eddie Arnold. Side 1 is What's He Doing in My World? Too Many Rivers, It Comes and Goes, Make the World Go Away, The Days Gone By, Mary Claire Mavana, Rebecca Jane. Side 2, I'm Letting You Go as Usual, I'm Walking Behind You, If You Are Mine, Mary, Taking Chances, You Still Got a Hold on Me. And I like this picture of him in the back because it shows a young picture of Eddie Arnold when he was back in his 20s and 30s. Next we got one of my favorite country singers of all time. Him and Eddie Arnold are some of my favorite country singers of the 50s and 60s. Merle Haggard, he sang from the 60s all the way to I believe the 90s or 2000s. Anyway, we got Mama Tried album by Merle Haggard and the Strangers. Side 1 is Mama Tried, Green Green Grass of Home, Little Old Wine Drinker Me, and the Good Old Days, I Could Have Gone Right, I'll Always Know. On side 2, The Sunny Side of My Life, Teach Me How to Forget, Folsom Prison Blues, Run 'Em Off, You'll Never Love Me Now, Too Many Bridges to Cross Over. And that's all of some of my favorite vinyl records that I own in my collection. That is just some of my vinyl records that I own in my collection. I own the small records and the big records. I own mostly small records because my Aunt Brenda gave me over about 50 to 100 of them. And plus some big records, which is the 45s and 33s. And yeah, and that was my opinion on Vlare and my vinyl records, some of my favorite vinyl records that I own in my collection. I hope all of you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe to me on my The Video Gamer 64 channel and my Mr. Arcade Retro Gamer 64 channel to see more videos on here. This is the Video Gamer 64 and Mr. Arcade Retro Gamer 64 signing off.